Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview. On a Wednesday, hump day, July 15th, 2015, coming to the middle of our trading week. However, we've got a lot of trading to do today as the day is just starting as we are recording this in the Asia session. Traders, in this session, we're going to go over 6 currency pairs, we'll go over some economic data, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. Traders, don't forget this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com. Traders, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, 2008. I retired from a public safety department out of the great state of Florida. 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday to celebrate my retirement. Well, it's 2015 and I'm still in Asia, having a great time. Trading Forex every day. I do trade the markets every day. I'm listening to fundamentals. I'm looking at charts for technicals. I'm looking for opportunities where the probabilities are in my favor to win the trade. And yes, traders, I do lose trades. Anybody out there ever tells you they win every single trade, run the other way. They're lying to you. Trust me, they are lying to you. All right, it's great to trade Forex. It's exciting, especially at this time with what's going on in the world, and we'll get to that in just a moment. However, let's get this legal stuff out of the way, this risk disclaimer. Remember that Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's head over to the news and commentary. All right, let's take a look at the economic calendar today. We have a full day of data today. Aussie just came out with new motor vehicle sales month on month. It was a good number. We also have, well, in about 1 minute, we have China coming out with its GDP quarter on quarter and year on year, it looks like. Also, China's got industrial production year on year. And also, China has monetary policy statement and the Bank of Japan press conference. Quite a filling Asia session leading us into the London Open. We have the Great British Pound has average earnings index, looks like a 3-month year thing. And also we got climate count change out of the pound. So that is definitely going to give us a little jolt here or there. So lots of stuff moving on here, and I cannot get my computer to do what it's supposed to be done. In the Eurozone, we also have Euro group meetings today. Hold on, traders. I just lost my screen here. Just give me a second. Let's get this back up here. Oh, computers. You know, they're great when they work, but man, when they decide to take a break, they take a break. So we have the CAD has manufacturing sales month on month. We have Eurogroup meetings all day today. I'll get to that story in just a second. In the New York session, we have Canadians' Bank of Canada monetary policy statement, and then a rate statement. And overnight rate is coming out. And we're not even done there. Then we have Fed Chairwoman Auntie Yellen is testifying today. And that is 30 minutes before the New York stock market opens. Then later in the New York day, we have, out of New Zealand, we have GDT private index. And then we have the Canadian BOC press conference. So, wow, yeah, full day of economic data today. Let's take a look at the indices and see what we have going on. The US 30 closed up 0.42%. The S&P 500 closed up 0.45%, with the NASDAQ in the green, also at 0.66%. Moving on over to the Eurozone, the DAX closed up 0.28%, the FTSE 100 out of London closed up at 0.23%, and the CAC 40 out of Paris closed at positive 0.69%, with the Eurostoxx 50 out of Frankfurt closed up at 0.47%. Everybody's in the green so far. Let's head on over to Asia. Remember, these countries are currently trading live as we speak, and the Nikkei 225 is up 0.51%. The S&P ASX 200 is up 0.86%. The Shanghai is in the green, negative 1.03%. What are they up to? And the Hang Seng is positive 0.20%. So that's what's going on in our indices so far today. So, commentary for today. Well, I thought this Greece situation was sort of finished and done with, and they had an agreement and everybody was happy and everybody was going to move on and all that stuff. And what do we find out? Well, yesterday, the energy minister in Athens said he was totally against the bailout program and he was going to fight it. And now they're in a mess because the Prime Minister Tespris, I'm sure I missaid his name, his own party is now against him. So this is not over yet, folks. This is just gonna drag on and drag on. They have a parliament vote today. During the London session, I would assume, but they have a parliament vote today whether to accept this bailout or not to accept the bailout. Remember the point of the referendum. The point of the referendum was for the Greek people to decide if they wanted austerity measures and to continue with the bailout process. And they overwhelmingly, at 62.7%, said absolutely not. We don't want this. We don't want to do this. And what happened is they went back to the table, and the austerities are worse than was first proposed. So if they go ahead and they bring this, to Parliament, now I don't think it's going to pass Parliament from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing. They're going against what the people voted for. I mean, the people overwhelmingly said, we don't want more austerity. We don't want this bailout package. We need to do something different. So it is a mess with the Greece situation. And if I'm not mistaken, they're running out of money real quick. So it's going to be very interesting, folks. The problem is it affects our trading. And when one of them gets on a microphone and starts talking, it'll whipsaw your trade 50, 60, 70 pips in 10 seconds in the opposite direction. Which, I think I've only taken 2 live trades in the last 2.5 weeks since this mess has started. And so, it's affecting us. It affects our trading. So, I don't know what to tell you, my friends. Just be really careful when you're trading. I hate to use the word tight stops because you end up getting stopped out more than you are staying in the trade, right? So you have a choice. You can put a 100 pip stop in there and just really lower your lot size. Or you can put tight stops and it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And you got the probability that you're going to get stopped out or you're not going to get stopped out. So that's a decision you have to make on the trade that you take. We're going to go over some charts today, and I'm going to show you some examples of some of this wildness that's going on. One that comes to my mind is, has anybody looked at the Great British Pound US dollar pair? What it did yesterday? Unbelievable. That's just an example. All right, that's enough on commentary today. Just cover your tuchus and make sure you keep your economic calendar up close. Or if you have a live data feed, make sure you keep the volume up. So we're going to take a look at some 60-minute Forex charts. We're running a little bit longer today. I think this is really important that we discussed what I discussed, and we're going to go into some charts here and take a look at what's going on. And as usual, we will start with the euro dollar. All right, so here's the euro dollar. Really easy trade plan. Not much happened yesterday. This came up, and came back down. in the New York afternoon, went sideways, for 3 to 4 hours, and then of course now we're in the Asia session. So I don't know what happened in New York. I did not trade New York yesterday. My air conditioning in my condo went, and I had to change rooms, and I was not a happy camper. And you just can't. I just can't trade when your mindset's not there, and my mindset was not there. So I shut the computer off. So I have no idea what happened in New York, and I have not been able to read the summary yet, which I will get to before I trade today live. I usually get to my charts about an hour or 2 hours before the London Open. Take a look at what's going on. Trade plan for today is pretty easy. If this breaks this trend line, we get a bearish candlestick formation. By all means, let's take this down to the daily S2 pivot, and that's at 0923 or below. And it's not a huge trade, but it's going to give us 50 pips. If we take it at the pivot, it's almost 100 pips at 1.1019, right? So, it's like whether you want to be, how aggressive do you want to be, is basically what's going on here. And we have a full calendar of data today, so just be careful. But we're bearish. I mean, the main point of this chart is we're bearish. We're going to stay bearish. I wanted to show you these blue candles that are just like whipsawed up and down and all around yesterday. There wasn't a lot of data yesterday. And this is coming from people getting on microphones and making comments. And it's just taking the markets in opposite directions. All right, let's go over to this one. This is a real shock when I opened my charts this morning. And this is the pound dollar. This pound dollar is, it's been kind of neutral pretty much. But, it's been more to the bearish side than the bullish side. Well, yesterday, I gather this is a news event that big blue candle came out. And this thing just went through the roof. And now, if you take a look at where we're at, we're just above this 5630 area, and we're at resistance. Well, I'm not selling. I'm not buying here, right? We don't buy at resistance, right? We sell at resistance. So we need a really aggressive pullback. And we know the pound doesn't like to pull back, but we need to get down back to this 55.86 area. So we're safe for at least 40 pips before we get back up to that resistance zone. And you can see the yellow line on the chart. That's a support line. And then right below it is a pivot point. So somewhere in that area, we can look to take this trade. Listen, I'd like it to get all the way down to the 200 exponential moving average and take it back up, if it was up to me. But we know the pound most likely will not do that. However, they do have a lot of data coming out today, so it's going to be very interesting to watch this pair today. But really, just be very careful if you trade this pair today. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Believe it or not, the Aussie dollar did absolutely nothing yesterday. I mean, really, absolutely nothing yesterday. This is the same chart as yesterday. I just moved some numbers around, but this is the same chart as yesterday. It's the same fib. There's nothing that has changed here. So, we got the same trade plan. I would prefer to take the entry below this pivot point, even though I have to tell you, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think fundamentals is going to rule this pair today, and fundamentals will bring this either up or down, especially with the BOJ having a press conference today. Now, the BOJ is ready to do an intervention. They're ready to do a quantitative easing. They're ready to increase their stimulus. They're ready to do something, and it's just going to happen eventually. And they do not tell you anything in advance. Everything is always tentative. But I just got this feeling, when Kuroda starts speaking like every day, they're getting ready to do something. So we just need to keep an eye on this and watch this. Be careful with the Aussie dollar today. Like I said, we have a lot of data. And more than that, look left of the chart. That is a lot of Forex junk up left of the chart. You got support and resistance areas all over the place. And it is a total mess. So if you enter this pair, make sure you got a solid trade and a solid trade plan. Okay? So be careful with the Aussie. Let's head on over to the Euro Aussie. We're still bearish in this pair. There's nothing. There's no secret here. In fact, we're at a price level right now. This slide's maybe 30 minutes old, So, this is at a price level where you could take the short down daily S2 at 46.82 or down to the S3, which would even be better. But this pair is ready to go. Look at the resistance, though, we have. We have a 200 exponential moving average. We have a yellow resistance line, and we have a daily pivot point. I'd love to see this just give us a notch up and then bang back down again. That would be a great trade. So we've really got this on the top of my radar screen today. I really want to see this work. So yeah, that's what it is. It's a very interesting pair to trade today. I think it's in a great position. If you're aggressive, you can hit it now. The problem is if you hit it now, we're 5 hours, 4.5 hours before the London Open, and you don't know what's going to happen, right? All right, let's take a look at the Euro Yen. The Euro Yen is pretty funky lately. Not a lot of price action yesterday, as you can see with the candles. You can see our support and resistance lines are closed in. The 200 exponential moving average is right there. That's the green line, right above the daily S1. So we have a couple of opportunities here. One is you could take this now and basically put your stop above the daily pivot point, right? And just enter the pair short. I'm more conservative. I'd rather wait to 135.07, and I'll take it below the daily S1. I want to and take it there. I really would probably go to 134.90 or something like that, and then just take it down to the daily S3 at 134.12. I'd be real, I'd rather be conservative than get stuck, because this is going to bounce at the 200 and this daily S1. So if you know that, and you enter the trade now, just remember your stop's got to go above that daily pivot point, pretty close to that daily all one area, and that's where your stop's got to go. So you got to give it a pretty big stop. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting with the BOJ having all this data coming out today and their press conference. So this pair is going to be interesting to watch also. But I think the trade plan can work. Next one we're going to take a look at is in New Zealand. And here's another one with two entries that I've given you. One is like pretty much right now at 0.6690, and the other one is below at the daily S1 at 66.70, and we'll take it down to 66.35. But the problem with that is you're only looking at like a 38 pip trade. So, just going to have to think of how you want to do this. It might not be a bad idea to take this below the 200. If it closes below the 200 exponential moving average, not a bad idea just to pop that trade in there. Put your stop above the daily pivot point, and I'm going to use that word I don't like to use, but give it just a really tight stop. And if this closes below the 200, just take the sell entry and see how far you can get. Once you get 10, 12, 13 pips in profit, get to break even. And, it's a free trade after that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you'll make 1 pip or 2 pips. That's fine. It's better than losing. Traders, that ends our 6 currency pair wrap-up. On behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me on a hump day as we have a full trading day ahead. Traders, always remember to trade smart, not hard. Traders, have a great trading day. Go grab those pips, and please keep your economic calendar up and alive today. Lots of data today in all 3 sessions. Traders, have a great trading day. We'll catch you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye-bye.